talent of young Della.
He was a complete one-off. His background, his where he was from as a kid, his accent, the way he operated.
Spattered with choke from Della's darts.
180!
The big end.
The likes of John Lowe, Jockey Wilson and Eric Bristow were fast becoming the faces of the sport, but Sid was rivalling them for top billing with his unique take on darts and the English language.
Double tops. Bristow strikes back, just like the Empire.
It was Nick who always tried to keep him disciplined and focused on the action and gave him a lot of advice that he then used for the rest of his career. And I think sometimes, whether Nick would agree, he thought my dad went too far.
He took a lot of getting used to in this rather sort of posh BBC ways of commentating in those days, where you had very fixed rules. And he, in order to commentate the way he wanted to break some of those rules.
Bullseye.
Game shot, that's the first set to Keith Della.
Well, they ain't exactly impartial, some of the lads here. But if you think they're excited, what are the people in Suffolk and Ipswich doing now?
Second set.
There were times when he could go over the top, and he would accept that. And there were other times when I shouldn't have put my foot on the brake and I should just let him get on with it. Because in many ways, I mean, he was a genius in the commentary box.
Double 12 for the crafty Cockney.
Yeah!
First time at Jolly's, which was the second year at the Worlds, he got that excited in the commentary. We used to have the bubble over the mic then, didn't we? And he was sick all over that. That coming and pulled up. That was him, because he used to get emotionally, involved in it.
If you was to say, name 4 people that you would know with darts in the 80s, it'd be Eric Bristow, John Lowe, Jockey Wilson and Sid WADDELL.
140!
Keith's mother has been known to do the chips with one hand and throw darts with the other.
85!
She'll throw the chip pan out of the window if he wins this.
He gave us a lot more credibility, really, because we were great players, but we had a bad image, and the press seemed to jump on that a lot. But with Sid being a very intellectual person that always stuck up for us, really gave us a lot of respect that we never really got from other people. If Sid hadn't have been around with us in our sport, darts would have suffered.
He's got a few quid on Della.
"1992 was a momentous year in darts history. The top 16 players broke away from the sports governing body, the BDO, formed a new association and signed a TV deal with Sky Sports.
Well, this is just incredible. This is some start, isn't it?
More coverage followed and greater exposure for the sport. With the best players now in the books of the Professional Darts Corporation, Sid soon followed.
Sky come in and they do the razzmatazz, the walk-on girls, people like that. Just part of the jigsaw, you put all the jigsaw together, then you get a great show.
Sid really completed the jigsaw. We had great coverage, great new, fresh approach to doing it with Sky. If we had the best players, then we needed the best commentator. It was really a quick phone call with Sid and a quick discussion over a pint of cooking lager, as he used to call it.
Commentators, Sid WADDELL and Dave Lanning.
Thank you, softly spoken Jeff. Yes, it's a time for a bit of hush. Oh, absolute perfection.
Wow, that's the best bit of bullying I've ever batted eyes on.
So the miner's son, who graduated from Cambridge University, found his way into sports commentary. But little did he know how much of an impact he would have on the world of darts. The sport was starting to spark into life, and Sid was the lightning conductor.
Double 12 for history! History! He's done it! He's done it!
The fellow was a genius in his own way. Anybody mentions Sid, they all smile.
He took darts from spit and sawdust to champagne and stardust.
Over the festive period, more than 40,000 people will adhere to the Alexandra Palace in North London to catch just a glimpse of their heroes battling it out for the biggest prize in darts, the PDC World Championship Trophy. But while the likes of Phil Taylor, Adrian Lewis, Raymond van Barneveld, John Part and Dennis Priestley have all won darts top prize, no one has lifted this particular piece of silverware. Such was Sid's impact on the sport that after his death a brand new trophy was commissioned. The sport's greats will now face off on the hockey for the right to lift the Sid Waddell Trophy.
It's no secret to say that, you know, Sid Waddell was and is the voice of darts. You know, he's been synonymous with the success that we've enjoyed, and his enthusiasm has driven us forward, and he's been so supportive. It's just a way of us publicly saying how much we're going to miss him and how we valued his contribution to our sport and the effect that he's had on making it so successful.
Sid and the rest of the Sky production team brought a sense of occasion and glamour to the sport. A night at the darts became not so much working men's club as West End musical, with Sid in the role of leading man.
Yes! Larry Butler upsets the four books and the pros and the experts.
Sid Waddell was the mouthpiece of that sport. You know, he was our PR machine, if you like.
Everyone who worked on the darts knew they were working with a genius.
He wants a clean, fast kill now. Would be incredible, a third once. Oh, yes! So an incredible way! What an incredulous way to finish a match!
He was the showman, you know. We were taking darts out of small little clubs into big halls in Blackpool, which is where he first started, and he loved it.
Once double six to save the match.
Games on the eighth leg. Keep going.
It'll never get better. Tungsten, chuck in on your telly.
I've met a lot of people in television, never met anyone like Sid.
Double 12. Dave Lennon said it, 'cause I'm gobsmacked.
He made it fashionable, he made it funny, he made it entertaining.
Once double 12.
Yes!
Oh, he has stolen that one. That's a classic piece of Bristow nicking, Sid.
Absolutely. Dick Turpin would have been proud of that one.
He made the nation aware of darts.
Sid put that point across and educated people to the beauties of the hours.
He took darts from a Cinderella sport and made it the belle of the ball. He took darts from spit and sawdust to champagne and stardust.
More live tournaments, bigger crowds and increased prize money meant greater exposure for Sid. And with that came a wider audience to wow with his reimagining of the English language.
We've had the Old Testament, the New Testament, we've done Chaucer and Shakespeare. How about the Apocrypha?
His rhetoric and repartee was just in a class of its own.
You can't have all the walk-ons, the crazy walk-ons and everything else. If someone is just going to say, well, that was a great game, that really was. What a 170 finish. Superb. It'd fall flat on his face. Sid has helped the sport of darts be what it is today.
He's twitching like a ferret in a winch. He is.
Everybody said, oh, he prepares all these different lines about Gotterdammerungs and Twilight of the Gods and all this bits and that. And he didn't. Really, Sid really worked off the top of his head, and I sat next to him for 20 years.
You didn't produce Sid, you opened the cage and let him out. I could never rein him in.
He's on it again. He's on the 9-darter.
One of Sid's finest moments came in Blackpool in 2002. No one had ever witnessed a live televised 9-dart finish, so it was fitting that Sid was in the commentary box during Phil Taylor's quarter-final with Chris Mason at the World Match Play Championship.
Sid had never done a 9-darter. I felt that it was he should have called it, so I shut up.
Yes, he's got it. Treble 19. Double 12 for history! History! He's done it! He did it! He did the 9-dart! 100,000 quid!
Then you see, if you listen to the commentary, Sid has called it, and then he has shut up and allowed me to say,
Well, you have to agree, that is a moment in television history, the first live 9-dart finish.
Sid was very unselfish and gave me that, so we came across as a duo, as a pair.
Phil Taylor was closer to Sid than most. a friendship that was established in the 1980s on the BDO circuit. Sid commentated on most of his world title wins and worked with Taylor in writing his biography.
Double 16s for the big one! Southfield from Thomas Taylor is world champ for an unbelievable 15th time!
I've probably known Sid more or less half my life. He's like part of my family, really, Sid was. You know, he probably knew more about myself than what I did myself, if that makes sense. He was just very, very clever. He had piles and piles of research he collected after newspaper cuttings. You know, I said to him, can I have them? Because he got everything. All little things marked out. He knew exactly about everything, about everybody.
What's this fella's name? Sid Waddell.
The fella was a genius in his own way, and then a bit daft in other ways. You know what I mean? I remember again when Sid was writing my book, I went up to the house, and Irene, his wife, sent him to the shop for 3 things, and he forgot to. I went for something like, I think she sent him for a loaf of bread, some butter, and a bottle of milk, and he came back with 5 pound of taters, a paper, and a bar of chocolate.
Hey, can I bet you can't guess where I am? I'm in Ireland, the Emerald Isle. I'm at darts. I'm at the Paddy Power darts. Phil the Power Tillers after 60,000 punts up there. Hey, he'll stroll this 161, can I?
Anybody mentions Sid, they all smile. Which is lovely, isn't it? A lovely way to be remembered.
I say it's the Kilimanjaro with the top blowing off. Greatest darts game ever.
Sid's influence on darts not only brought new life and colour to the sport, but TV audiences were on the up. The 2007 World Championship final between Phil Taylor and Raymond van Barneveld topped 1 million viewers for the first time.
Tops he wants. And he gets it! Barneveld is the champion of the world!
He goes Eric Rister's 5 title records! What a player!
The darts crowd was the new hit place in which to be seen. Even the royal family was getting involved, and the commentary box became a think tank for the high-minded.
Here we go then, Sidney Waddell, B.A. Cantap, Stephen Fry's B.A. Cantap, Ronnie Harrington, University of Life, M.A., any way you like.
Ah, I've been Waddell. What could be better? I'm like a pig in Chardonnay, I tell you. I couldn't be happier.
Once upon a time, I cracked the jokes around here. Now everybody does it.
I've got these 2 mega intelligent people, you know, that are sitting beside me there going, like, and Stephen's coming out with his phrases and Sid's coming out with phrases, and I'm sitting there and I want to say something, but inside I was just laughing my head off. And it was a crazy commentary.
Oh, is that it again?
Some could be in. Could! Magic from the power!
I think he just really enjoyed the banter and bouncing off him and doing that bit of commentary with him. He was tickled pink afterwards. He was hyper. I remember speaking to him afterwards. He really enjoyed it.
Once upon a time, he was breaking all records. Now he's only breaking his heart. Nothing you can do. Totally clips to the darts.
It just worked beautifully. It worked brilliantly. It's 20 minutes of very entertaining television, and he really enjoyed it.
The eccentric showman was on our screens for all to hear. But what about when the mic was put to one side?
He was the same sort of man, but the darts was an exaggerated version of himself. When at home, you know, he'd be in bed at 9 o'clock with a good book.
I can't remember a dull day with it. I can't remember a dull day. I still think he was mad as a hatter.
He had the energy of a 25-year-old. You know, you'd think he was a 25-year-old that had been in the gym every day or on the building because he was so fit and strong for his age.
Taking years.
So she's coming next week.
And they're in the dressing room, they hung this star.
Sid's final TV commentary was in May, earlier this year. Before going on air, he was interviewed as part of a feature on his life in darts. But his untimely death in August meant it has remained unseen until now. Even with his health